For the last 3 decades, national service has been there when our country needs it most. AmeriCorps members respond to natural disasters, fight poverty, tutor and mentor students, support veterans when they return home, and so much more. AmeriCorps seniors serve as foster grandparents, help older adults remain independent in their homes, and bring their experience and wisdom to the organizations where they serve. Every year, communities across the country benefit from the purpose-driven work of AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors are on the front lines of response and recovery. National service members have been supporting mass care facilities, expanding access to health screenings, conducting wellness checks, and delivering medicine to vulnerable community members. They've helped to address the loss of instructional time by using distance learning tools to help students stay connected and engaged. And they've continued to combat hunger by serving at food banks and ensuring that food is delivered safely to those who need it. Through their service, AmeriCorps members deepen their commitment to community and develop valuable professional and leadership skills. Serving with AmeriCorps can be a pathway to college or a first job, a chance to develop passion and purpose, and a strong sense of civic responsibility. Presidents and members of Congress from both parties recognize the value of AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. They know the benefits are substantial, and the return on the government's investment is significant. In fact, for every federal dollar they invest, AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors return more than $17 in benefits to society, program members, and the government. That's why bipartisan support for these cost-effective programs continues to grow. More than 1.1 million Americans have served through AmeriCorps since the program was established, and today, nearly 300,000 people participate in AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. Together, they are bringing help and hope to communities struggling with needs that were exacerbated by the pandemic. But there's so much more to do. Let's ensure that everyone who wants to serve has the chance to contribute and grow through the AmeriCorps programs. Voices for National Service brings the national service community together to tell the story of the power of AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors to improve lives, unite communities, and strengthen our nation.
Since 2003, Voices for National Service is building strong, bipartisan support for national service. It's a way in which we build up our nation, we build up our people, and you epitomize the values of this great nation.
When we realize the full potential of national service, the result will be a nation and world that is more tolerant, more connected, and more just. Join us and be a voice for national service.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Voices for National Service Hall of Fame induction ceremony for Senator Roger Wicker. It's so great to be gathering with so many national service heroes on this historic day. In case you had not heard, earlier this afternoon, Congress passed the American Rescue Plan, and in so doing approved $1 billion in supplemental funding for AmeriCorps. We are so very grateful to our national service champions for fighting to recognize and invest in AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors through the COVID relief package. We're also grateful to all of you and our colleagues across the country for working with us to build strong bipartisan support for national service. Now, as many of you know, we typically gather in person in Washington every February for the Friends of National Service Awards to honor the extraordinary elected officials and national service champions who lead the effort to expand and strengthen AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. Alas, that gathering was not to be this year for reasons we all know too well. But even though we can't be together in person, we wanted to try to find a way to say a special thank you to a group of members of Congress who have gone way above and beyond over the last year. We also figured we could leverage the technology that has become such a centerpiece of all of our lives and work over the last year. So welcome to the very first virtual Friends of National Service Awards. We are so glad you could join us today. This year, Friends of National Service will be a three-part series, and Voices for National Service will induct 3 legislators into our National Service Hall of Fame. All 3 have made AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors legislative priorities, and they've been fighting to create more opportunities for Americans of every background to serve, especially now as the country seeks to meet the challenges created or exacerbated by the pandemic. Today, we recognize Senator Roger Wicker. Later this month, we will celebrate Senator Chris Coons and Congressman David Price. I would like to thank our presenting sponsor, Comcast NBC Universal, along with our other sponsors, the Core Network and With Honor Action. I'd also like to thank Volunteer Mississippi for all of their help putting this program together. And last but not least, I'd like to say a special shout out to the Voices for National Service team, Jennifer Name, McKee Motley, Juan Carlos Perez, Emily Sullivan, and all who helped us pull this together and have been working so hard over the last year to help secure this historic level of funding for AmeriCorps. I encourage all of you to help amplify this event on Twitter and to send a special congratulatory message to Senator Wicker. Don't forget to use the hashtag Friends of National Service. Our celebration today will feature the voices of AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps senior members from Mississippi who have played an essential role in supporting the communities most impacted by COVID-19 and other state and local leaders who have witnessed the power of national service during this critical time. We are all deeply grateful to the 270,000 members who stepped forward and agreed to serve in a year unlike any other. Thank you for your service and commitment and for the difference you are making each and every day in communities across Mississippi and around the nation. And with that, let's get started.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to join you today, especially since Comcast NBC Universal has sponsored the Friends of National Service Award since 2004. This past year has been an incredibly challenging one and has impacted all Americans in an unprecedented way. At the same time, it has also presented us an opportunity to come together, support our communities and one another, and has provided the chance for so many people to step up and ask, how can I do more? This year, nearly 300,000 AmeriCorps members and AmeriCorps seniors agreed to serve and help address our nation's most pressing challenges. Comcast NBC Universal thanks you for your extraordinary service. This awards celebration is an important reminder that national service has the power to bring us together. Senator Coons, Senator Wicker, and Congressman Price have introduced bipartisan legislation that would dramatically expand AmeriCorps to help communities impacted by COVID-19, to strengthen efforts on diversity and equity in national service, and help prepare more young people for future work. The team at Comcast NBC Universal is excited that these bills are gaining national attention, but I must say, we are not surprised. Our company has been investing in AmeriCorps programs for 20 years because we were drawn to the public-private partnership and the idea of placing citizens at the center of solving local challenges. Our commitment to service, volunteering, and nurturing entrepreneurs has been a part of our DNA since our founding. And we know how effective it can be when we empower our employees to get involved, uplifting local communities through their time and unique skills. Senator Wicker, congratulations on your induction to the National Service Hall of Fame. You are so deserving of this special recognition. And a special shout out as you represent and live in Tupelo, Mississippi, where Comcast was founded 58 years ago. I'm sure you hear this a lot from Comcasters, as we are so proud of our roots in your hometown. As you continue working to expand national service, you have a committed partner in Comcast NBC Universal. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the program.
I do everything with my hands. I talk with my hands. When I talk, I'm moving my hands. I can't keep my hands still, honestly. I wasn't always raised by my parents. I was raised by my grandmother. And my first time landing in the garden, I was like 2. My mom dropped me off at her house. So my grandma, she's like, you have these big hands. So she always had me picking peas, hulling peas, like anything that was in the garden, slapping the hog. She always had me doing things, even when I was 2 or 3 years old. I love honeysuckles or picking muscadines. When I was in the 3rd grade, I had this friend named Troy. We had a fence that split our houses, and we had a muscadine vine. Some grew on my side, some grew on his side. We would just come outside and pick muscadines, eat them, throw them at each other. You know, we were kids, so yeah. I guess I've always been outside doing something with my hands, like always. At 13, my mom passed, and I go to live with my uncle. He decided to give me a dog. He was like, you gotta walk the dog, you gotta mow the grass, you gotta make sure you pick up after yourself. We're gonna cut these yards, we're gonna work on this car. I was so rebellious. Like most teenage boys, so I didn't want to listen. Now, that's not me saying anything he was telling me was wrong, but mainly because I just felt like that side of my family was one of the reasons I didn't have my mom anymore. We're fine now, but I carried that with me for a very long time. I went to college in Jackson. I kind of got away from my family. I went like 2 or 3 years not talking to my family at all. Nobody thought I would graduate college, so when I told them I graduated, they were like, you graduated? But then they came down for my graduation in droves. I walked across that stage and they were the loudest people I could hear. I was like, man, these people really love me. And now I carry that with me to this day. It was just a big moment in my life. I never knew I would be doing this food court. And doing this made it come full circle to be doing this again and just think like this is like poetic justice. I would say an example of how I use my hands today is when I'm helping out with the kids in the garden. I'm holding up packets of compost or packets of soil, and we're going to take it to the raised beds or the double dug beds, or I'm high-fiving one of the kids, or we're typing up lesson plans, and it just helps you know where they're coming from. And I can relate to them because I understand it differently than someone who hasn't been through that before. I'm hopefully a role model for them so that when they grow up, they can come back to communities like this and do the same thing I'm doing for them. Everything comes full circle. And I wouldn't change anything, especially with this AmeriCorps program. Just being in the Delta, the close-knit communities. You stay in Shaw for 2 weeks and everybody knows your name. Everybody knows who your folks are. Matter of fact, the first thing people ask you in Shaw is who your folks. I think it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, AmeriCorps Food Corps fits into my story because it puts me in a position to help people. They have provided me a network because I'm not from here. So it helps me do my service better. We do taste tests. We're tearing down the walls of food and security that have been there for years. And kids, they buck and moan and they say, I don't want to eat it, but they try it and then they're like, oh, this is good. And they take it home to their families. The message is simple. If Mississippi loses Food Corps, it loses its agricultural future. Mississippi is the biggest agricultural output for America. So Mississippi needs AmeriCorps. If you lose your servants, you lose your leaders. Because the servants are building a platform that the leaders can stand on. And if there's no platform for the leaders to stand on, where do they stand? How will they be seen? How will they be heard? Mississippi's future depends on America. America's future depends on AmeriCorps. How do I know? I grew up like these kids.
Thanks so much, Jonathan, for sharing your inspiring story of service with Food Corps Mississippi. Today, we celebrate Senator Roger Wicker's extraordinary leadership of national service. Senator Wicker is himself a veteran, and he embodies the ethic of service that makes Mississippi such a great place to live and work. He has seen firsthand the impact of national service in his state after Hurricane Katrina, the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, and most recently during the pandemic. He serves on the National Service Caucus in the Senate, and he has sponsored legislation to exclude the AmeriCorps Education Award from income tax. Senator Wicker is proud that Vicksburg, Mississippi hosts the AmeriCorps National Civilian Community Corps Southern Region campus, and he always makes time to connect with AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps senior members when he is back home. Over the last year, Senator Wicker has looked for additional ways to lift up the essential role that AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors play in supporting communities dealing with the impact of COVID-19. Last spring, as the country was facing challenges associated with the pandemic, Senator Wicker and Senator Coons drafted the CORE Act and assembled an incredible bipartisan group of co-sponsors for the legislation. The bill proposes to invest in the effective national service infrastructure of commissions and programs around the country to dramatically expand opportunities to serve and to increase the benefits for those who serve. Senator Wicker has consistently demonstrated his commitment to expanding AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors and to strengthening national service. Again this year, Senator Wicker has stepped forward to powerfully advocate for AmeriCorps at a critical time for the country. Before we formally induct Senator Wicker into the Voices for National Service Hall of Fame, we wanted to share some special messages from folks in Mississippi and around the country who wanted to express their gratitude to Senator Wicker for his incredible leadership.
On behalf of the AmeriCorps NCCC campus in Vicksburg, Mississippi, we would like to congratulate and thank Senator Roger Wicker for his commitment to national service.
Congratulations, Senator Wicker.
Thank you, Senator Wicker.
We appreciate you, Senator Wicker.
Your support of AmeriCorps NCCC encourages Americans to strengthen communities,
build leaders,
take action when faced with apathy,
seek common ground when faced with conflict,
persevere in the face of adversity.
You help America and AmeriCorps get things done!
On behalf of CLOM CDC and Gulfport, Mississippi.
On behalf of Jumpstart Mississippi and College Board.
The Triad AmeriCorps program located on the campus of USM here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Grenada School District AmeriCorps program in Grenada, Mississippi.
The Central Mississippi Hub for volunteers and nonprofits.
For Laurel Place.
Operation Upward AmeriCorps.
On behalf of 34,000 City Year AmeriCorps alums.
On behalf of our organization and the entire 9/11 community.
A big shout out and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Wicker.
Thank you for being a champion of national service.
For being a champion of AmeriCorps.
Of AmeriCorps. Everything that you do to help us nonprofit organizations to do what we do.
For your leadership and support.
For building a service to career pipeline for an entire generation of future educators, nonprofit leaders, and community leaders.
For making our service possible.
For all that you've done on behalf of our organization, of course, but more importantly for the entire national service community.
We were thrilled to work with Senator Roger Wicker on the expansion of JROTC, one of the first provisions in the Inspire to Serve Act.
I know if my late father, Harris Wofford, were still with us, he'd want to join me in saluting you for your tremendous leadership and your championing of national service.
The work we do in improving the lives of young people would not be possible without you.
Your support of AmeriCorps helps us improve students' reading and Corps members become teachers and leaders.
Your support of AmeriCorps helps Citizen Schools carry out our mission to help all students thrive in school and beyond through hands-on learning and career mentors.
Because of your leadership, 3,000 City Year AmeriCorps members are serving more than 300 schools, helping 226,000 students cope and thrive in a year unlike any other.
We appreciate you and we thank you for all you do to help nonprofits like us.
Congratulations, Senator Wicker.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
On being inducted into the National Service Hall of Fame.
We are so very proud of you.
Mississippi is proud that our U.S. citizen is being inducted into the National Service Hall of Fame.
Roger, congratulations on receiving this much-deserved, long overdue award. But thank you mostly for continuing to support service opportunities.
We are proud that our U.S. Senator is being inducted into the National Service Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Senator Wicker.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Senator Wicker salutes to you.
Congratulations, Senator Wicker. We are proud of you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
As a former volunteer Mississippi Commissioner and his daughter to U.S. Senator Roger Wicker, I'd like to say thank you, Dad, for your many years of public service. Thank you for the excellent example of serving others that you've shown throughout your life. And thank you for your work in Congress on behalf of national service. Congratulations, Dad, on your induction into the National Service Hall of Fame.
That's a lot of love for Senator Wicker. We are deeply grateful to him for his leadership, and it is our honor to induct him into the Voices for National Service Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, an unforeseen conflict with Senate business arose this afternoon, and Senator Wicker is no longer able to join us live. However, he quickly recorded a video and asked us to share it with all of you.
Hello, I'm Senator Roger Wicker from Mississippi. Thank you for the opportunity to speak at the Hall of Fame ceremony and for the honor of receiving this award. I want to thank each of you for your contributions to American society and the common good through service initiatives. National service represents the best of our nation's can-do spirit and commitment to helping our neighbors in need. I first came to appreciate the tremendous good that national service can provide 15 years ago when my state of Mississippi was hit by Hurricane Katrina. In the weeks and months following that disaster, AmeriCorps members were there to lend a helping hand. National service programs have lifted communities during many times of desperate need, not least of which is the current COVID-19 pandemic. Throughout this national ordeal, food pantries have needed more hands on deck to stock shelves and distribute basic necessities. Students have needed tutoring and mentorship to make up for lost time in the classroom. From day one of the crisis, the people of AmeriCorps, AmeriCorps seniors, and the National Civilian Community Corps have rolled up their sleeves to keep this country running. In Mississippi, AmeriCorps volunteers have tutored students and provided health education and neighborhood recreation programs across the state. I'm pleased to see that more and more of these service members are young people. Many new high school graduates have chosen to serve their country and gain experience through national service, while colleges remain online. These programs offer valuable benefits to students, including eligibility for an educational award equal to the maximum Pell Grant once they complete their service. Unfortunately, this educational assistance is still subject to federal tax. I've worked with Senator Coons on legislation to change that and to double the award during this period of COVID response and recovery. This legislation, known as the CORE Act, would also authorize a dramatic expansion of national service positions over a 3-year period. It would specifically target projects that support both urban and rural communities recovering from the pandemic, including public health services, education assistance, and food provision. This bill gained significant bipartisan support last Congress, and we are planning to reintroduce it again. But getting it across the finish line will require your continued partnership to help educate members of Congress about the importance of national service initiatives. As of this year, the Senate has 9 new members. It is my hope that each of them will see the value of national service and help us to seize this historic moment. Again, I want to thank each of you for the vital work you're doing to help get our nation back on its feet and thriving again. It's an honor and a privilege to work with you.
Senator Wicker, it really makes me proud to learn that you have been picked for the National Service Award on behalf of AmeriCorps. You know, when Katrina hit our state, we had hundreds and hundreds of AmeriCorps volunteers who came and stayed, many of them for months and months. And so for you to recognize how great this organization is, so much that they recognize you for being a supporter, it really means a lot to me. And for Mississippians who are on the coast or anywhere in the wake of Katrina, this will mean a lot to them too. So Roger, hats off to you. Thanks for really supporting a wonderful group of organizations under AmeriCorps.
My name is Ely Reeves, and I am proud to serve as the Honorary Board Chair for Volunteer Mississippi. It is an honor for me to join Voices for National Service to recognize one of our own, Senator Roger Wicker. Over the years, Senator Wicker has not only been a champion for our state, but also for our volunteer service. Senator Wicker has proven his love for the state of Mississippi and for volunteer service throughout his support of many different organizations and the work they do to help our communities. I would also like to thank Senator Wicker for his dedication to Mississippi and his commitment to volunteer service. I look forward to continuing to work with Senator Wicker and each of you to make Mississippi and our nation an even better place.
Congratulations, Senator Wicker, and it's a particular pleasure for me to be here this afternoon to recognize Senator Wicker, because for those of you who don't know, Senator Wicker was born and raised in Tupelo, Mississippi, has represented Tupelo for his entire term in Congress, and Tupelo happens to be the birthplace of Comcast. So in a very real sense, Senator Wicker is our senator, and it's just an honor for me to be here to recognize him. Senator, you've been an extraordinary champion for national service, a passion that I have had the opportunity to witness firsthand, and you are very deserving of this special recognition. I am the co-chair of the Voices for National Service Champions Circle, and Comcast NBC Universal is a founding member of the Business Council. I've been investing personally and professionally in national service programs like City Year over the past 2 decades, and am proud to currently serve as chair of City Year's National Board. I know that national service is one of the best ways to strengthen our communities and our nation. As a businessman, this is an easy government program to endorse because it simply makes good business sense. National service is one of the most cost-effective strategies for engaging citizens, building workplace and leadership skills, improving communities, and strengthening and unifying the nation. We are lucky to have a champion like Roger Wicker fighting for us, looking for ways to expand AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors so more Americans can serve, leading to a greater impact across our communities. The senator recognizes that service isn't secondary to achieving national priorities. It is essential to achieving them. So thank you, Senator Wicker, for your support, for your leadership, and for lending your voice to this important cause. Congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
We are so glad that you can be with us today, Senator Wicker, so that we can express to you our gratitude for your support for national service. On behalf of the entire national service community, I want to tell you how much we appreciate your leadership, your steadfast support, and the many ways that you've been an advocate for AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors. So it is indeed our honor to induct you into the National Service Hall of Fame. Much deserved congratulations. And to all my colleagues across the country who are engaged in service, thank you for your work, and thank you for so many of you being here with us now. If you are not currently a member of Voices for National Service, please join us, because we need your voice and we need your participation so that we can expand and strengthen national service so that any American who wants to serve has that opportunity. So thank you to you all.